Caught on camera, an MLB pitcher's home and a former Seahawks home, both burglarized in King County. What we know about the break-ins. New tonight, the Spokane Valley City Council considering a resolution declaring they are not a sanctuary city. We'll break down why and what it would mean.
Scattered showers and storms Wednesday and Thursday, but we're talking a warmer, sunnier weekend ahead.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for the KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Tonight, Spokane Valley City Council voted on a resolution reaffirming their status as a non-sanctuary city. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy was at that meeting tonight. He is joining us live in the Valley tonight with more. Connor?
Well, Spokane Valley has and continues to label itself as a non-sanctuary city. It was a pretty large turnout here at City Hall for tonight's council meeting. Many people attending spoke during public comment on the matter, as well as city officials. Now, this comes from a resolution.
Fraud in an election, the election is vitiated.
Also had the city direct law enforcement to assist different agencies such as ICE to enforce immigration laws. In 2019, a state law went into effect known as the Keep Washington Working Act, which prevents that collaboration. This vote tonight reaffirmed their stance while saying the city will not direct law enforcement to collaborate with federal agents on immigration. We heard from Christy Armstrong with the refugee nonprofit World Relief Spokane about how she and her clients feel about the city's ruling and what the Spokane Valley mayor had to say in response.
I work with people who are from the Sudanese community, the Congolese community, just many people. And I can tell you that there is great fear already among the immigrants and refugees who are here legally.
It has nothing to do with what people think it has to do with. It has to do with making our resolution that was passed in 2016 comply with both the federal law, which has changed, and the state law, which has also changed.
Public comment was limited to 1 minute per person during that resolution discussion, and the time to end the meeting got extended to 10:30. Now, many people who attended, I spoke with, say that they're disappointed with the outcome that was made by City Council tonight, while others say it's what's best for the city. In Spokane Valley, Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Meantime, Washington Congressman Michael Baumgartner is calling on Washington State to make changes to its sanctuary laws. Baumgartner sent a letter along with other members of the House Judiciary Committee to Attorney General Nick Brown. That letter states that Washington's law hinders federal immigration enforcement. The law is the Keep Washington Working Act. It places limits on resources that local law enforcement can provide to federal immigration enforcement. In the letter, Baumgartner writes, quote, by obstructing cooperation with federal immigration authorities, the state is actively shielding dangerous individuals and undermining public safety. It is time for Washington to rethink these dangerous policies and put its communities first, unquote. If you would like to read that letter in its entirety, we've posted it on our website. Just head to KREM.com.
Justice does not have a price. Our courts are not for sale.
Well, that is Susan Crawford giving her victory speech tonight after winning a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Crawford beat Republican nominee Brad Schimmel for the seat. Schimmel was backed by President Trump and Elon Musk. Crawford's victory will help preserve a 4-3 liberal majority in Wisconsin. That race gained national attention as it shattered records for campaign spending on court elections, with more than $100 million poured into the election. Elon Musk also accounted for a quarter of the campaign spending, putting more than $25 million of his own money into the race and giving away $2 million to people who signed a petition against what he called activist judges. Washington state lawmakers continue their efforts to agree on a budget. Both the House and Senate have now passed their proposals, but that work is far from over, and that's because Governor Bob Ferguson has to approve them first. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley has more.
The House and Senate both passed their versions of the Washington state budget, but Governor Bob Ferguson says he won't sign either version for two reasons. They each propose too much in taxes, and they both rely on a wealth tax.
Washington Governor Bob Ferguson is addressing the state's operating budget just 3 weeks before the conclusion of the legislative session.
And I want to start by saying how much I appreciate the hard work of both the House and the Senate.
But he says if the legislature wishes to complete its work on time, it needs to immediately move the budget discussions in a significantly different direction. Governor Ferguson believes the wealth tax is untested, difficult to implement, and he expects it will face an immediate challenge in court.
The legal arguments for a wealth tax are untested. The courts could go either way on that issue. It would be irresponsible to rely on an untested new tax to balance our budget, particularly given the situation we face with the federal government.
The governor is also anticipating more federal budget cuts that will have significant impacts on Washington state. He believes the best thing the state can do in preparation is maintain the state's reserves, particularly the rainy day fund. I spoke with Eastern Washington legislators to hear their reactions to the governor's two biggest concerns with the budgets from both chambers.
The wealth that's being created in Washington state doesn't just come from wealthy folks. It comes from folks showing up to work every single day. And I think if our governor takes a closer look at the decisions that are being made both on the House and the Senate side, he can find a better appreciation for why we are looking at taxing wealth more fairly in our state.
More and more taxes piled on at a time when people are already hurting. Right now, insurance is going up. I mean, your homeowner's insurance is going up, your car insurance is going up, food is going up. And so now we're going to go for massive, the largest tax increase in state history is what was being proposed. The citizens of the state cannot handle it at this time.
The last day of this legislative session is April 27th, which means the clock is ticking for Washington lawmakers to approve the state's budget. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Well, tonight we are learning police on the west side are investigating a break-in at the home of Seattle native and LA Dodgers pitcher Blake Snell. Edmonds police responded to reports of a burglary last week on March 26th. Cameras catch at least two hooded figures breaking into the home while Snell was away for opening day in LA. A representative for Snell shares the pitcher feels violated, targeted, and the sports world is on high alert. Police share they could not determine if anything had been taken, sharing this is still an ongoing investigation. Turns out that break-in isn't the only or first high-profile burglary in the past week. Former Seattle Seahawk Richard Sherman's home was broken into on Sunday night. Sherman sharing he was the victim of an armed robbery that took place with his family inside the home. Sherman took to social media sharing photos of the break-in and asking if anyone had any information. Sherman was not home during the incident but credited his wife for keeping his kids safe. The King County Sheriff's Office says no arrests have been made. And right now, police are not confirming or denying if the two break-ins are connected. However, the FBI has warned leagues about athletes being targeted. Just last month, 7 men from Chile were charged in connection to a string of home break-ins, including properties owned by the Kansas City Chiefs Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Some even caught with memorabilia from Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow's home. According to a federal criminal complaint, this group has been targeting players from the NFL and NBA since last October. They break in while the athletes were competing in their games. All right, let's talk weather on this Tuesday night. Chilly temperatures, a few showers, and a little sunshine to round out the day. So what's in store for tomorrow? Let's head outside right now to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo in the Outdoor Weather Center.
Mark, it's more of the same as we move through the next couple of days. We sit at 41 degrees right now in Ham. Well, he thinks 41 degrees is just right. Me, on the other hand, it's a little bit cool. We have more waves of energy making their way toward us in the coming days, and that's what keeps the chance of showers in the forecast. This afternoon's strongly fueled by our daytime heating, and that's going to be the case the next couple of days. We're just tapping into that heat as the waves of energy move through. So tomorrow, it's likely we see a couple of light showers to start the day, a couple in the afternoon, and then Thursday, more widespread showers return to the region, but things clear out by this time Thursday, opening the door for an absolutely clear and beautiful Friday. Does start out a little cooler though. We'll fall down below freezing as those temperatures turn the corner. Next couple of days, we stay mild overnight, but each afternoon, right near 50 degrees with scattered showers, 58 on Friday under sunny skies, and even warmer this weekend.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. We'll check back in with you later in the show. All right, don't go to bed just yet. A jury has been selected in Lori Vallow Daybell's upcoming trial in Arizona, when opening statements are set to start coming up. And a bit later, if you are planning a trip overseas and wondering if Customs and Border Protection can go through your phone, our Verify team has the answer. We're back in 90 seconds.